back in the days when I was a teenager, before I had status and before I had a pager. You could find the abstract listening to hip-hop. Pops used to say it reminded him of bebop. I said, well, Daddy, don't you know that things go in cycles? The way that Bobby Brown is just amping like Michael. It's all expected, things are for the looking. If you got the money, Quest is for the booking. That's exhausting. So I just engaged in this somewhat ridiculous massacre of everybody's favorite Tribe Called Quest lyric to illustrate a point. White people in the United States kind of want to be black people. And this, of course, brings us to Rachel Dolezal. This is not a story that I wanted to cover, but you guys seem pretty interested, and I'm here for the viewers, so let's give it a whirl. As I said, US white people kind of want to be black people. We don't want the consequences. But even the most racist white American spends a lot of time in his car listening to Chuck Berry or Tupac or any of their imitators. And why shouldn't we? African American culture is pretty much the coolest thing about the United States of America. The black experience isn't just the most compelling American story, it's also the most impressive one. The ability to not just survive, but rise above the Middle Passage, centuries of slavery, Jim Crow, and mass incarceration is extraordinary. It makes the Babylonian captivity look like a walk in the park. By the rivers of Babylon, where we... I'm sorry, I promise I will never do that again. And what's more, all the most interesting aspects of US culture are African American culture. From gospel to rock and roll to hip hop to the kind of street art you see everywhere in the world. What's not to envy? If it weren't for the African American contribution to the United States, we'd basically just be a bigger version of Germany. Powerful, homogenous, and super frickin' boring. So, when I look at the Rachel Dolezal story, I kind of get it. She was an official with the NAACP, and she presented herself as a black woman for a number of years. A couple weeks back, her very white biological parents outed her as a white person. I can't imagine how infuriating this must be for African Americans, but I can't speak to that, and I won't pretend to. As a white person, I kind of get it. The African American experience is awe-inspiring. Who wants to be the bad guy in that story? So yes, Miss Dolezal has taken her white envy significantly further than most, but now she's being punished for it. What really bothers me about this story is the fact that we all seem to care about it so much. We're paying much more attention to this one story than we have to any police shooting or the horrific racist murders in South Carolina last week. My fear is that we're using this as a way to sort of distract from our white guilt. I'm afraid that if we can point to this one activist out of millions across the country that has proved herself to be a bit of a ridiculous fraud, we can pretend that all of the real problems have been solved. They have not. If the past week has taught us anything, it's taught us that. So let's let Miss Dolezal fade away into a deserved obscurity and get to work. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. And if you'd like to help me make more videos like this one, please click on the Patreon link here to find out how. Also, thank you for sticking around. This is my 100th video. I had no idea I'd get to this point. Thanks so much for participating, watching, all that.